Continuing from the previous chapter, Xiao Yan shocked everyone during the soul power test by achieving a 5th-tier talent ranking. Master, what did you mean by what you just said? Xiao Yan quickly left the tea house, found a secluded spot, and after ensuring no one had followed him, he spoke up. I'm not sure why, but there's a very subtle aura about that Taoist-robed youth. It seems somewhat similar to the aura of ghostly beings from the ghost realm, yet there's something different about it. The voice of the Golden Dragon King slowly emerged. From the tone, Xiao Yan could tell that even his master was perplexed. Ghostly beings? Does that mean the missing people might be connected to him? Xiao Yan asked, surprised. No, not necessarily. His aura is somewhat strange. In any case, it doesn't feel like that of a ghostly being from the ghost realm. The aura is just peculiar. There's a hint of a ghostly presence, but it's likely some kind of object on him that's blocking your soul power from probing further. The Golden Dragon King explained after some thought. I just don't know whether he's an enemy or a friend. However, based on what he said, he's also a participant in this selection. Hopefully, we won't cross paths with him, Xiao Yan said in a low voice. It wasn't that he was afraid, but the youth's aura gave him an unsettling feeling. It seems I need to keep an eye on this move phone, Xiao Yan thought, making a plan as he slowly headed toward his next destination, a bustling area. At the intersection of several streets stood a massive building, shrouded in misty smoke. The 2 dragon-like characters for Pill Pavilion were elegantly inscribed, clearly the work of a master. It was not hard to see that the building's prime location in the busiest part of the street spoke to its prominence. Xiao Yan's destination was this very place. Please show your alchemist rank. 2 burly figures at the entrance blocked Xiao Yan, speaking politely. Only 2 types of people could enter the Pill Pavilion. Those with powerful backgrounds, who came to purchase pills, and high-level alchemists who were there to auction their concoctions in exchange for rare herbs or combat techniques. Sorry, I didn't bring my alchemist badge, Xiao Yan replied. Then, sir, what brings you here? Although the seemingly frail scholar in front of them wasn't an alchemist, he was someone they couldn't afford to offend. Alchemists were like a hornet's nest, not to be provoked. Offending one could lead to relentless reprisals. Even if someone wasn't an alchemist, they still commanded respect, especially since this place was currently teeming with geniuses from all directions. Their superiors had strictly ordered them not to cause any trouble. There are 3 floors in the Pill Pavilion. The first floor is where ordinary people buy pills. It's the most crowded, but the pills and herbs here are common, without any rare ones, the guards explained respectfully. And the second floor? Xiao Yan inquired. The second floor is for those with great strength or exceptional alchemy skills, they continued. And the third floor? Xiao Yan asked, puzzled. The third floor is not open to the public. Unless, the guards hesitated. Unless what? Unless one is a 4-star Do-D or an Emperor-tier alchemist, the guards finally said, clearly not believing that the young man before them could be either. I see, Xiao Yan replied casually. Please, the guards gestured, inviting him in. Although this man did not carry a badge, his soul power was unmistakably genuine. Hearing this, Xiao Yan strode inside. Entering the Pill Pavilion, he first found himself on the first floor. A quick scan revealed many people, some selling pills, others herbs, but most were milling about, suggesting the high threshold for alchemists and their limited numbers. After glancing around and finding nothing of interest on the first floor, Xiao Yan proceeded to the second floor. 2 guards also stood at the entrance to the second floor, indicating the strict division of entrance for each level. As Xiao Yan approached, the 2 guards exchanged a glance and were about to call out to him when Xiao Yan's soul power momentarily flared, causing the guards to hold their tongues. Clearly, he had the qualifications to enter the second floor. Upon stepping onto the second floor, Xiao Yan noticed the crowd had thinned significantly, and the quality of the pills had noticeably improved. There were quite a few Emperor-tier pills on display. Xiao Yan began to browse slowly. Every time he attended such gatherings, it was a time-consuming process. Finding good items required patience and discovery, so there was no need to rush. Shadow Pill, a 9th-grade peak auxiliary pill. Taking this pill allows one to conceal their aura for a short period. Unless discovered by someone a full level higher, others will not notice you. To exchange for this pill, you only need to offer a pill of the same rank or 3 rare herbs. Don't miss this chance, called out a wiry-looking man. Hearing this, Xiao Yan glanced over with some interest. After examining the entirely black pill, he shook his head and was about to move on. This young man, how about it? Do you want to trade for this pill? It's an excellent elixir for escaping undetected, a rare find. The wiry man quickly spoke up, clearly eager not to lose a potential customer. Though the effects of your shadow pill are decent, it is at most a 9th-grade treasured pill. Among pills of the same grade, yours has the weakest potency. Asking for so many items in exchange is rather excessive. Xiao Yan, being an experienced alchemist, wasn't going to be fooled by this wiry man treating him like an easy target. Moreover, such pills were typically crafted by those who lacked proper skills. In most cases, alchemists rarely bothered to make auxiliary pills with limited utility. Indeed, the wiry man realized he was dealing with an expert and did not try to persuade him further. As the saying goes, an expert makes a move, and it is clear if there is substance or not. Xiao Yan continued to wander aimlessly on the 2nd floor, when suddenly something in front of an old man caught his eye. Hey, if you're not buying, don't look too closely. If you damage it, you'll have to compensate me, the old man said lazily, sizing up Xiao Yan. Seeing Xiao Yan's scholarly appearance, he assumed Xiao Yan's background might be lacking. Wood, mustard root, volcanic stone. Ignoring the old man's warning, Xiao Yan began calling out the names of unfamiliar herbs one by one. Oh! Hearing Xiao Yan accurately identify the herbs in front of him, the old man's previously lazy gaze sharpened. These herbs were painstakingly gathered by the old man, and for this young man to name them so readily, he had to re-evaluate Xiao Yan. You actually recognize these herbs? The old man asked, furrowing his brow. Not only do I recognize them, but I also intend to buy them, Xiao Yan replied respectfully. Despite the old man's casual demeanor, there was a subtle yet powerful aura emanating from him, indicating immense strength. I've been here for days and finally met a youngster with good discernment who can recognize these herbs, the old man chuckled. Many precious herbs and rare treasures gather dust for lack of recognition. This demonstrated that vast knowledge is indeed a form of experience. Xiao Yan recalled his master, the Golden Dragon King, mentioning that within the mystic 3 heavens, there was a sacred flame. According to his master, this sacred flame was most suitable for him to absorb and devour at his current stage. However, the sacred flame's power was extremely fierce and violent, so like devouring different flames, one had to be well prepared. The 7-flame flower, rising sun pill, blood spirit ice essence. These 3 essential items can greatly reduce the power of the sacred flame. Although they only provide a slight advantage for the devouring process, sometimes even the smallest chance of success can lead to eventual victory. To this day, Xiao Yan hadn't encountered any of these 3 essential items. Take the 7-flame flower, for example. This flower has 7 colors, each representing a different type of flame. It can significantly weaken the flame power of the sacred flame during Xiao Yan's devouring process. It originates from the convergence of 7 different flame regions. Although these flames are not as powerful as the alien flames, their rarity and the difficulty in finding a place where all 7 converge make them incredibly valuable. As for the rising sun pill, it provides Xiao Yan with a continuous, immense supply of dou qi during the devouring process. After all, in the process, either Xiao Yan devours the sacred flame or the sacred flame devours him. A single mistake could lead to failure. However, this pill is also of high grade, listed as a 2nd tier of the earth grade in the emperor rank. Currently, Xiao Yan is only a 1st-tier peak alchemist of the emperor rank. Each rank for emperor tier alchemists is divided into heaven, earth, and Xian levels, so there's not much he can do. For now, he can only focus on gathering the materials to refine the rising sun pill and plan for the future. As for the blood spirit ice essence, Xiao Yan had never even heard of it. Having devoured different flames on the dou qi continent, Xiao Yan knew that while these preparations were troublesome, they significantly increased his chances of success. Therefore, he understood the importance of preparing these items meticulously and had to take it seriously. Thus, it was best to prepare these things in advance. Otherwise, even if the rare sacred flame was found, his master, the Golden Dragon King, would never allow him to devour it. Just imagining the agony of being unable to consume it after finding it made Xiao Yan. With these thoughts in mind, Xiao Yan crouched down to examine the stall before him more closely. "Which herb are you planning to buy, young friend?" the old man asked, noticing Xiao Yan contemplating deeply in front of his stall. Knowing his herbs were rare, the old man was confident Xiao Yan, who could recognize their names, would have the means to purchase them. The ingredients needed to refine the Rising Sun pill aren't many, just 3. Snow Spirit Ganoderma, Spirit Purple Rock, Demon Fruit. The names of the herbs echoed in Xiao Yan's mind. His pupils narrowed as he focused on a pile of purplish soil-like material in front of the old man. "Sir, how much for this?" Xiao Yan asked, eyeing the purplish soil that had a hint of yellow and seemed to exude a spiritual aura. This material is quite extraordinary. It's known to be an essential ingredient for some peak first-tier Emperor rank pills. While I don't know its exact value, the fact that it was guarded by 2 4th-tier Emperor rank magical beasts speaks volumes about its rarity. So, my asking price isn't high. Any Earth-grade first-tier Emperor rank pill will do, the old man said cunningly, as if he were a seasoned fox. Tisk, TSK, TSK. Xiao Yan was momentarily taken aback by the old man's audacity. After a brief contemplation, he weighed his options. "Sir, this seems a bit excessive, doesn't it? Even though there were 2 4th-tier Emperor rank magical beasts guarding it, given your strength, dealing with them would have been quite manageable," Xiao Yan replied with a smile. Noticing the old man's slightly pale complexion, Xiao Yan continued, "It seems there might be some residual poison in your body. I have a weakness-dispelling pill here. Although it's only a first-tier Emperor rank Xian class pill, it can help eliminate toxins from your body. While it might not completely cleanse you, it should remove most of it." Xiao Yan smiled. The weakness-dispelling pill was not something Xiao Yan had concocted himself. He had come across it by chance in some ruins. Currently, he only had a single Emperor rank shaping pill, which could only be used by magical beasts, so Xiao Yan was relatively short on resources. "Well then, how about I add another herb to the deal?" The old man responded with a wry smile, clearly surprised by Xiao Yan's words. It was impressive that Xiao Yan could discern the condition of his body with just a glance. The toxins within him were known only to himself. This revelation made the old man reassess the young man in front of him. "Oh, what kind of herb?" Xiao Yan asked, intrigued. While the herbs in front of the old man were rare, Xiao Yan only needed the Spirit Purple Rock, so he inquired further. "That item wasn't easy to obtain. If your pill didn't suit my needs, I wouldn't part with it," the old man said. "Wait here. I'll fetch it from the 3rd floor," he continued, standing up and heading toward the 3rd floor. "Sir, let me accompany you," Xiao Yan suggested. Oh, this time, it was the old man's turn to be surprised. The 3rd floor was reserved only for 4-star Do-D experts and Emperor-tier alchemists. Given that this young man didn't have the strength of a 4-star Do-D, there was only one other possibility. He was an Emperor-tier alchemist. This was remarkable. The old man understood well the immense allure of an Emperor-tier alchemist. A standard alchemist capable of refining Emperor-tier pills could easily command the loyalty of a 1-star Do-D. A first-tier Xian-class Emperor-tier alchemist could make a 2-star Do-D willingly serve them. An Earth-class first-tier could command a 3-star Do-D, and a Heaven-class first-tier could draw even higher ranks to their service. With his discerning eye, the old man could see that Xiao Yan's strength and youth were quite exceptional for an alchemist. Xiao Yan and the old man reached the entrance to the 3rd floor, where only a single guardian stood. However, the guardian's strength was formidable. Elder Wang. The guardian greeted the old man respectfully as he approached. However, upon noticing Xiao Yan beside him, he seemed hesitant. "My companion can enter, right?" Elder Wang asked. "Sorry, Elder Wang, the rules are strict. I must," the Guardian began, but his words trailed off as he spotted an alchemist's cloak and a badge in Xiao Yan's hand. A typical badge with 1 star represents a first-tier alchemist. However, the badge of an Emperor-tier alchemist had the word Emperor engraved on it, with 2 bright stars hanging below it. An Emperor-tier alchemist. 1 star represents a first-tier Emperor alchemist, and 2 stars indicate a first-tier Xian-class Emperor alchemist. The Guardian's pupils contracted sharply. Compared to a 4-star Do-D, an alchemist of such caliber commanded even greater respect. A young man of such age, being capable of refining Earth-class first-tier Emperor-grade pills, was an exceptional high-tier alchemist, enough to attract the service of a 3-star Do-D. Respected 2-star Emperor alchemist, please come in. The Guardian quickly bowed and made a gesture of invitation. Hearing this, Xiao Yan retracted his badge and followed inside. Sir, after you, Xiao Yan said calmly. Having disguised himself, his true identity remained hidden, so he confidently displayed his credentials. I didn't expect you to be hiding so deeply. The old man was genuinely shocked by Xiao Yan's 2-star Emperor badge, knowing well it couldn't be forged. Oh, it's nothing, Xiao Yan replied modestly. I must say, sometimes I really envy you alchemists. Just by concocting pills, you can have others risk their lives for you. The old man led the way, his eyes and tone barely concealing his envy of Xiao Yan's alchemist status. As soon as they stepped onto the 3rd floor, an enticing aroma of pills filled the air. However, the number of people was sparse. Looking around, Xiao Yan saw only about a dozen individuals. Various stalls displayed precious herbs and high-grade pills, but without exception, none of these stalls were guarded. This is the 3rd floor where the most secure guards are stationed. If you have any herbs or pills, you only need to register them here, and there will be designated personnel to manage them. Buyers can freely browse, but only from a distance. Touching is not allowed otherwise. The old man explained. Xiao Yan nodded in realization. No wonder none of the stalls on the 3rd floor had anyone watching over them. People were simply searching for what they needed without interference. Come on, I'll take you to fetch that herb. Consider it a gift in return for your pill, the old man said. He knew that in terms of value, the soil and the weakness-dispelling pill were not on the same level. However, since this young man turned out to be such a formidable alchemist, he wanted to leave a good impression. After all, he wasn't sure what use that herb might have. It might as well serve as a token of goodwill toward an alchemist of such caliber. Divine Martial Jade, Celestial Liang Bone, Xiao Yan muttered, listing numerous rare, heavenly treasures as he walked. Seeing the young man beside him do this, the old man smiled. Building a good relationship with an alchemist would make it much easier to request pills in the future. We're here, the old man said casually. Xiao Yan looked over, noticing a stall on the 3rd floor. 3-flame flower. Xiao Yan's gaze was immediately drawn to an unremarkable plant on the stall. It was a small, sapling-like plant, about the size of his arm, with a few green leaves of varying shapes on its branches. The most captivating feature was at its top, 3 leaves slowly revolving, each a different color. Upon closer inspection, one could see that the 3 colors seemed like flames, emitting a faint, scorching heat. Xiao Yan's mind was calm as he considered how to acquire the 3-flame flower. While the 7-flame flower was needed to devour the sacred flame, such a thing was extremely rare. Finding the 3-flame flower now was a stroke of luck, and he wanted to secure it as a backup. Unexpectedly, the old man picked up the 3-flame flower and turned to Xiao Yan, saying, "How about this? I'll trade you this herb along with the soil for your weakness-dispelling pill." The old man smiled at Xiao Yan. His attitude had completely changed, from initially wanting to take advantage of Xiao Yan, treating him as an easy mark, to now earnestly trying to build a connection with him. Such is the unseen authority of powerful alchemical skills. Xiao Yan was quite pleased with this turn of events. He had been pondering how to obtain the 3-flame flower, and now the old man was offering it up willingly. As expected, being an alchemist was truly a favored position. "What is this?" Xiao Yan asked, although inwardly he was delighted. The value of the 3-flame flower and the spirit purple rock far exceeded that of the weakness-dispelling pill. However, he needed to maintain his composure to prevent the old man from reconsidering halfway through. I have no idea what this is either. I found it near a 5th-tier Emperor rank magical beast, but after examining it thoroughly, I couldn't figure out its secrets. For cultivators like us, it's of no use. Since you and I are fated to meet, I'll give this herb to you, the old man said generously. I can't tell how valuable this herb is, but thank you, senior, Xiao Yan replied, taking the 3-flame flower from the old man's hand. Just as he was about to store it away, a voice suddenly rang out. I want that herb. Old sir, why not sell it to me instead? I'll make sure the price satisfies you. A loud voice echoed across the 3rd floor. Xiao Yan looked up to see a man dressed in expensive clothing. From the way he carried himself, Xiao Yan could sense a strong aura of arrogance and entitlement. I have already completed my transaction with this young friend. You should look elsewhere, the old man replied calmly, making his meaning clear. Refusing money? What a fool, the well-dressed man sneered. My friend, please sell the herb to me. I guarantee you'll be satisfied with the price, he continued, moving toward Xiao Yan as if intending to snatch the 3-flame flower from his hand. Oh, and if I refuse to sell? Xiao Yan asked, readying himself for a potential fight. You've come to the wrong place, the old man shouted, his aura suddenly flaring up. Elder Wang, honorable 2-star Emperor Alchemist, please calm your anger. We will handle this matter and give you a satisfactory explanation. A steward quickly appeared before them, speaking respectfully. A 5-star Dodi, a 2-star Emperor Alchemist. The arrogance in the well-dressed man's demeanor vanished completely as he realized he had provoked people he could not afford to offend. It seemed he had hit a wall this time. This is not a place for you to cause trouble. The steward's voice, filled with anger, directed at the man in expensive clothing. Regardless of who this man was, Elder Wang, with his 5-star Dodi strength, was not someone he could afford to provoke, let alone the 2-star Emperor Alchemist standing beside him. The steward, therefore, didn't bother with the identity of the troublemaker. Are you blind? If my master wants something, you'd better hand it over willingly, or else, a servant behind the man in expensive clothing, unaware of the situation, spoke up. Is this how the Pill Pavilion treats its guests? Quite disappointing, Xiao Yan said calmly, his tone tinged with sarcasm. Please calm down, sir. We will make sure to give you a satisfactory resolution, the steward said, sweating profusely. The young scholar before him was already a 2-star Emperor Alchemist at such a young age, which implied that the power backing him could only be described as terrifying. Provoking such a significant figure would lead to disastrous consequences for the steward himself. Would the two of you prefer to settle this privately, or should we handle it? The steward asked. Causing trouble at our Pill Pavilion is a grave mistake, he added with a cold snort, clearly irritated that these two had chosen to provoke a high-tier alchemist. Shut up! The man in expensive clothing snapped at his servant. He then bowed respectfully to Xiao Yan and said, My name is Xing Le. We were blind and failed to recognize your esteemed status. I hope the honorable alchemist won't hold a grudge. Here is a small token of apology. Please accept it. He then presented a card to Xiao Yan. A 4-pattern Do-D card, which could only be used by a 4-star Do-D, and the number on it was a staggering 1 million. Though a million was not a massive amount to someone like Xiao Yan, the ease with which Xing Lu offered it indicated the significant power backing him. Isn't a million a bit too little? Xiao Yan remarked. And you should know, alchemists are never short of money. Just as Xiao Yan was about to speak, the old man, who had been trading with him, interjected. Clearly, Xing Li's earlier rudeness had angered him, and now he wanted to ensure Xing Lu paid dearly for his mistake. Steward, I'll leave it to you to handle, Xiao Yan said, understanding the old man's intention and playing along. Yes, sir, the steward replied, ready to apprehend Xing Lu and his servant. Wait, honored alchemist, this is a rare herb called the soul-warming stone. When worn for an extended period, it enhances the wearer's soul power, making it perfect for a master alchemist like yourself, Xing Lu quickly offered, cursing under his breath. He realized that the old man and the high-tier alchemist had clearly reached an agreement, intending to bleed him dry. Oh, In that case, let's consider the matter settled, steward, Xiao Yan said with a wave of his hand, accepting both the 4-pattern Do-D card and the soul-warming stone. As Xiao Yan pocketed the card and the soul-warming stone, Xing Li's eyelid twitched violently, clearly pained by the loss. While losing $1 million wasn't a big deal to him, the soul-warming stone was something he had spent nearly $10 million to acquire at an auction, and now it had ended up in Xiao Yan's hands. In that case, thank you, Honorable Alchemist, Xing Li said. We have matters to attend to, so we'll be leaving now. He gestured subtly to his servant to follow him. Hee, you're quite ruthless, sir, Xiao Yan remarked to the old man. Just teaching a couple of ignorant fools a lesson. It's good for them, the old man chuckled. Let's head back to the second floor. I'll sort out that soil, and then our transaction will be complete, the old man suggested. After all, Xiao Yan had already handed over the weakness-dispelling pill, which had prompted the old man's actions. All right, Xiao Yan agreed. Even though he had given the pill to the old man first, he wasn't worried about any complications arising from the transaction. The pill pavilion's prime location in such a bustling area suggested it was backed by considerable power. Moreover, every item sold here was meticulously registered, so Xiao Yan felt assured. With that, I wish you a successful trade. If you ever need any herbs in the future, feel free to find me here at the pill pavilion, the old man said after registering their transaction. You're too kind, sir. I have some matters to attend to, so I'll take my leave now, Xiao Yan replied, cupping his hands in a gesture of respect. Be careful on your way out. Those two might try to cause trouble for you, the old man warned with a sly smile, clearly having noticed the malice in Xing Li's eyes earlier. Thank you for the warning, sir, Xiao Yan responded. He, too, had caught the subtle hostility in Xing Li's gaze. However, with Xing Lu only being at the early stage of a 4-star Do-D, Xiao Yan wasn't particularly concerned. Such opponents were easily handled with one hand. Go find out everything you can about that 2-star Emperor Alchemist named Yin Xiao. If he dares to make me bleed, I will make him pay tenfold, Xing Lu snarled to his servant as soon as he stepped out of the pill pavilion. Master, a 2-star Emperor Alchemist isn't someone to be trifled with. Before we left home, the elders repeatedly warned us that alchemists are the last people you want to provoke. If we make a single mistake, the servant's concern was evident, clearly remembering the warnings given by the family's higher-ups. Don't worry, there won't be any mistakes. I'll send him straight to hell, Xing Lu replied with a vicious expression. Clearly, the embarrassment he had suffered earlier left him feeling deeply humiliated. As for what to tell the family, you know what to do, Xing Lu reminded his servant, ensuring he wouldn't mess up his plans. Yes, I understand. With that, the servant vanished like a ghost. Damn it, enjoy yourself while you can. I'll get back that 3-flame flower and soul-warming stone, completely untouched, Xing Lu muttered with a menacing glare towards the pill pavilion. After his bitter words, he disappeared into the bustling street crowd. As Xiao Yan left the pill pavilion, he noticed the sky was already darkening. He started heading back to his residence, feeling quite intrigued by the soul-warming stone he had just acquired. Even when stored inside his ring, the stone emanated a gentle, soothing energy that nourished his soul sea. Yuru, what's going on? Xiao Yan asked as he approached his door and saw a familiar figure standing there. Upon stepping inside, he realized it was Yuru. He immediately opened his door and invited her in, saying, "Come in."